Right, baseline ground, Dodge 3 requesting permission for departure, direct east.
Dodge 3, Bethlehem ground, you'll be departing straight out to the east over the apron. We have traffic on final approach. Contact tower on 141.0. UNH 29.92, winds are 251 at 4 knots, base at 8202.
Check our altimeter is set to the correct barometric pressure of 29.92. That should put us at 520 meters MSL. Then contact Bisland Tower for straight out departure to the east.
Baseline Tower, Dodge 3 requesting straight out departure over the apron, east.
Dodge 3, Bethlehem Tower, you are cleared for straight out departure to the east over the main apron. Traffic on final approach, so stay south of the runway. UNH 29.92, winds are 251 at 4 knots.
Okay, are we good to go?
You're clear on the left.
Okay, so the instruction is 10 meters, 20 knots speed. Speed is going to be difficult to calculate, given that I don't get an accurate reading, but at least let's try to nail the altitude. Should be good. Let's try stabilizing here.
Charlie Hotel 258 Heavy. Contact Bethlehem ground on 141.5 and exit the runway at taxiway Alpha.
Westland Ground on 1 kwietnia 1,5, exit AT Alpha, Charlie Hotel 2 Maja 8 Heavy. Tough job being air traffic controller out here. Anyway, maintain around 25 meters and around 60 knots, and like we were instructed, stay south of the runway, just in case one of these big birds decides to do a go-around. Now start your climb up to 1,000 meters MSL. Keep a steady climb rate of 100 meters per minute and push our airspeed up to 150 kilometers. Maintain this heading. I'll instruct you when it's safe to turn.
No. Not at all.
Okay, take us towards waypoint 1. You're clear on the left. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Dodge 1. Engines out performing an emergency landing. 2 miles north of Beslan Airfield.
Okay, that was kind of scary. I bet you I'm going to forget what I'm supposed to say.
Now take us towards waypoint 2. Caution traffic ahead of us. That would be Dodge 1 and 2.
I don't know why the nadir is showing me... Wait, what? Didn't I select waypoint 2? Oh my god, I was in the wrong setting. Shameful, absolutely shameful. I was about to say, why is the nadir pointing me to the wrong direction?
Beslan Tower, Dodge 1. Safely landed Autorotation 2 miles north of airfield. Taking off.
Copy your last Dodge 1, Beslan Tower.
It's almost time. Remember your mayday call. You wouldn't want to crash and then not be found. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Dodge 3. Engines outperforming an emergency landing. 2 miles north of Beslan Airfield.
Okay, I'll try to keep it in mind. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Dodge 3, engines out, performing emergency landing 2 miles north. Okay, I think I've got this. I think I've got this. I've practiced auto rotations quite a bit in the Gazelle, but they are scary. They are extremely scary in the Gazelle. I don't fear them in the Huey, but I fear them in the Gazelle very much, because the Gazelle has really short skids and an almost horizontal tail, so it's really easy to tail strike under the flare, during the flare. It's really easy to tip over, to nose over, because of the stubby little skids. And the tiny rotor that it has doesn't really do a good job at retaining energy. So then you want to get the energy back during the landing, and it doesn't really give it to you. Or it does, but not for a very long time. So I'm used to the Huey, in which the rotor is quite good at its job, so the Gazelle feels just ridiculously underpowered.
Alright, this looks good. Bank right and let's point the nose north.
Oh yeah, I see why. No trees over here.
Fuel lever off. Engines out.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Dodge 3 lost engine. Going down, emergency landing north of Beslan Airfield. Collective all the way down. We're a bit too fast at the moment. My radar altimeter is not working. I just noticed it. So what's the point of using it? Okay, let's slow down a tiny bit.
Flare now. 60 kilometers.
Ooh! Whoa! I thought we were dead. I thought we were dead. I thought I was gonna get the tail strike, but I fucking made it! Oh yes! Fucking made it! Let's go! No confirmation from the instructor though. Why?
Bisland Tower, Dodge 3, safely landed auto rotation practice, 2 miles north of Bisland Airfield, taking off.
Copy your last Dodge 3, Beslan Tower.
Alright, take the fuel lever back up, then lift off and take us back to waypoint 1. Climb back up to 1,000 meters MSL and hold 150 kilometers airspeed. Give me one more good auto rotation and I'll put you up for your solo flight.
1K 150, waypoint 1. Okay, scan all your instruments. Yes, you're right. Let me also put waypoint 1 on the nadir. The thing I don't know is, does the nadir need to align again? The gyro is off as well, so obviously that one needs alignment again, I think. What I don't know is, do I need to turn it off? No, it's working. It's working, but it needs a bit more time. But yeah, the radar altimeter was turned off when we lost engine power, so what's the point of using it? I landed this completely visually with my eyes, and this, by the way, shows the importance of looking outside of your aircraft. It's never good when you're looking into your instruments. It's never good, and this is why modern aircraft, both helicopters and airplanes, have heads-up display systems, and even display systems inside their helmets or their goggles.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Dodge 2. Engines out performing an emergency landing. 2 miles north of Beslan Airfield.
Let's get out of here. I don't want to get killed. I don't want to get killed.
Beslan Tower, Dodge 2, safely landed auto rotation 2 miles north of airfield, taking off.
Copy your last Dodge 2, Beslan Tower.
Okay, we're back on waypoint 1, or will be shortly.
Okay, this should be good. Turn us around and head back to waypoint 2, last auto rotation, same as you did before. Bank right and turn the nose in a northerly direction. I'll let you know when I'm going to cut the fuel lever. Remember to drop the collective before calling in your mayday, exactly like you did before. Fuel lever off, engines out.
Mayday, 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 Dodge 3, lost engine, emergency landing 2 miles north of Beslan Airfield. Okay, let's do this. Let's fucking do this. We're floating too much. Oh, we made it. Oh my god, we made it. I thought I was a goner because we floated too much. That meant we carried too much speed, but that landing was impeccable.
Bisland Tower, Dodge 3, safely landed auto rotation practice, 2 miles north of Bisland
Oh fuck, I forgot to align my... I forgot to align my ANS. That's alright. That's alright. I'll fly manual. But that was a big mistake. Also, I started shitting brakes because for some reason we needed way too much torque to get off the ground. So I was thinking maybe I got my rotor blown up, but apparently I'm doing fine, so I don't know what to tell you. Anyhow, I'll see you guys back to base. Can you touch down already? Thank you. Jesus Christ. I've got a slight suspicion that I missed a trigger, because I never got confirmation from him for the taxi. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother with it. I'm sorry to say that, but yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with this. This mission has been very tiring for me, and I'll explain to you in a minute as soon as the helicopter winds down. Alright, ladies and gents, so time for the briefing. I said that this mission has worn me down to an extreme degree, and this is true. I had to start and restart the mission a lot of times. The reason why that is because obviously I was dying during the autorotation. So this is my 6th, I think, try. Maybe more, I don't remember actually. The first autorotation you saw in the video was the first try, and it went rather well, although I was convinced we were gonna die. But then the second was also good. I reviewed it in the replay, but we died. I don't know why. And then every other autorotation since was dog shit. So this is the final try, 6th or 7th try. First autorotation was perfect, textbook, and then obviously I didn't show you that. I show you the original first autorotation from the first try, and then the second autorotation is from this try, the final try. It was good, but not exactly 100% perfect. We seemed to be carrying too much forward speed. So obviously I've wasted too many fucking hours of my life in this, so I don't care about being called a good boy from the instructor. I don't really give a fuck. As long as we succeeded, this is a mission win in my books. As for why autorotation with the Gazelle is so difficult, first of all, you have to understand that I'm used to autorotations in the Huey, okay? The Huey is a lot heavier, a lot more inert, it gives you a lot more feedback, the rotor is stronger, bigger, and so on and so forth. So, despite what you may think of, autorotations perhaps being a little bit more problematic in the Huey because it's heavier, less maneuverable, and so on and so forth, autorotations in the Gazelle are actually a lot worse. Because the Gazelle has a tiny rotor, it doesn't really store energy well enough. And in the context of autorotation, you need to keep your collective completely zero until the very last seconds, until the very last meters, and this is extremely scary. And additionally, one other really scary and really frustrating aspect of the Gazelle is the flare. As you guys know, the flare is the same in helicopters and airplanes, and obviously during some kind of landing, be that forced or proper, you need to flare just before touching down to slow down enough to touch down. The problem with the flare in the Gazelle is that the tail of the Gazelle is almost completely horizontal. You can see a tiny little sort of angle, but it's almost completely horizontal. The Huey, by comparison, has a much more angled tail, and so what this means is that you can angle nose up a lot more and a lot more aggressively in the Huey than the Gazelle, and that also has an impact on slowing you down. In the Gazelle you can't do that because you risk tail striking, and if you tail strike, what's going to happen? all the momentum that you're carrying is going to be transferred forwards and you're going to nose over. Additionally, even if you don't tail strike, still if you overdo it with a flare and you land with the rear end of the skids, the exact same thing will happen again, and again you'll be tipped over and you're going to nose over and possibly die. It's not a certainty, but you're probably going to lose a rotor or something. So essentially what you have to do with the Gazelle is you have to be very careful with your flare. You also have to be extremely careful with your collective, and then just when you think that you need to slow down more and make it a more safe landing, instead what you need to do is push cyclic forwards to neutralize your flare and land in as neutral of an attitude as possible. Ideally you want to touch with both skids at the same time perfectly, uniformly. This is easier said than done. And keep in mind that I'm carrying baggage from what I know from the Huey. If I learned for the first time helicopters with the Gazelle, obviously I think that the Huey was going to have the same issues. It would be more difficult for me to operate than the platform I know. At the same time though, not only is it lack of knowledge of the platform, but it's also the fact that it's completely backwards. So I went from a very heavy and strong helicopter with a powerful rotor into something that is very light, very agile, and where the rotor is a little bit weak by comparison. The Gazelle is a lot more surgical, a lot more demanding than the Huey, despite what you may think. Even though you may think that it should be backwards, even though you may think that the Huey should be more demanding because it's more old school, more older model and so on and so forth. No, the Gazelle is 10 times more difficult to fly. And there are so many things that piss me off about the Gazelle, honestly, about its flying, about its instruments. But again, I don't know to what extent this is a problem with the actual aircraft, the actual Gazelle, and to what degree this isn't a problem with my familiarity with the Huey. So I'm trying to apply what I know from the Huey into the Gazelle, and it's not working, and it's frustrating me. I wonder if the opposite would be true if I started with the Gazelle before jumping into the Huey. Anyhow, Autorotation's complete, so we have proven that we can fly and take off and land in any sort of configuration with this beautiful little rotor aircraft. I am afraid, however, of IFR flight with the Gazelle specifically because, as I said, not really very keen on its instruments. I don't really like them. I don't like the layout. I don't like the symbology. It feels very, very wrong to me. So I wonder to what degree this is going to be a problem for me. Anyhow, I hope you guys are excited for the next step in this learning journey, and I'll see you on the next one. Tengu signing out. Good flying, my friends.